week 10 of the fantasy football season. And here's a few wide receivers I would drop this week. The first guy, Tyler Boyd of the Cincinnati Bengals. I've been holding out as well on Tyler Boyd if I should drop him or not. But this guy's way inconsistent here for this Bengal offense. And obviously Joe Burrow, he zeroes in on Jamar Chase with a lot of targets. And obviously the impressive second-year wide receiver in T. Higgins. So Tyler Boyd on the season, he's only had 1 or 2 great games this year. In the last few weeks for him, Week 7 at Baltimore, 4 catches, 39 yards. Week 8 at the New York Jets, 5 catches, 69 yards, a touchdown. And he added 46 passing yards in that game. And then Week 9 versus the Browns, only 2 targets and added a catch for 11 yards. So right now with the Bengals going on bye here in Week 10 and Tyler Boyd being a bust, in my opinion, in fantasy football circles, in my opinion, he's an easy drop. Maybe after the bye week you could go back to him. But with the lack of production the last 3 out of 4 ball games, in my opinion, it's a no-doubter. But to drop him this week, the next wide receiver I would drop is Stevonte Parker of the Miami Dolphins. So Parker, we know he's a very talented playmaker, an athletic wide receiver, and he's been pretty decent this season as well with 3 double-digit fantasy games in the 5 games he's played. But now he's back on injured reserve here with a hamstring injury. And this Dolphin team, in my opinion, they're not going to rush him back. So the minimum he's going to miss now is 2 or 3 more ball games here as Parker. This Dolphin team's 2-7 on the season. They're going to want to take a look, in my opinion, at more of the younger guys like a Jalen Waddle and a Matt Collins on this roster. So right here, Parker's banged up, he's injured, and there's no reason to even stash him on your injured reserve list, in my opinion. And right now, he did get added in 9% of fantasy leagues as a stash, but I don't think he's going to come back really with an impact. So right here, if you need the injured reserve spots for other players and stuff, I just wouldn't keep Parker on my roster. I don't think he's that great of a receiver, but he's not that bad as well. But there's no need to hold on to him, in my opinion, with the final wide receiver I would drop this week's Bryan Edwards of the Las Vegas Raiders. So Edwards, I thought he was going to be a good pickup, obviously, with Henry Ruggs released and his NFL career most likely over. He had 4 targets in Week 9 in the first game with the Raiders without Henry Ruggs, and he didn't get 1 catch or nothing. So he was a big ad on the wire last week. Going 19% of fantasy leagues was Edwards. But now the Raiders went out the other day here and they signed Desean Jackson to a deal. And in my opinion, Desean Jackson, he's going to get right into that starting lineup, or at least get a lot of snaps in the slot and stuff. So right now, Bryan Edwards had an opportunity. He didn't take advantage of it. I know it's only 1 game, but right here, it's not a telling sign to me. Obviously, with Zay Jones in the mix, Desean Jackson coming in, and Hunter Renfrow doing what Hunter Renfrow does with a good game. So right now, I just can't trust Edwards. And with all those factors against him, he's a wide receiver to drop. So that's a few wide receivers I would drop here in Week 10 of the fantasy football season.